In a country where a long succession of coups and armed revolts have shaped history, trust is in short supply. These rebels are officially in a ceasefire, despite appearances. But it's more than a year since a peace deal was reached. Disarmament isn't in place on the ground. And with presidential elections due in 8 months, the APRD is demanding more progress.
We find ourselves in dilemma with the government that has aligned itself to our disarmament program, but not yet implemented. Disarmament must come before the elections. Without it, there can be no elections.
While that falls short of a direct threat, disarmament is not linked to the 2010 elections and is scheduled to take 3 years. A stumbling block? No, says the government.
There is no reason to think that the peace agreement is not moving ahead. The first important element for the peace agreement was that amnesty. It's a kind of guarantee for those who are still holding guns. The second guarantee, I think, is the compensation package.
As political posturing goes on, there's no change for the tens of thousands having to live in rough shelters in the bush. This is the highlight of their week, a market hidden away amongst trees. They need convincing that peace is really attainable before they'll even think about returning to the ruins of their homes attacked by government forces. While the APRD wants to convert from rebellion to political power, these people have long been caught in the middle.
The APRD style themselves as being protectors of the people, but without their actions and the retribution that followed, these people wouldn't be living their lives hidden away in the bush. There's a sense of fear here, one that has a feeling of permanence.
The government may be making the right noises, but there's distrust in the motivations of President Francois Bozizé. Democracy has a dire record in CAR, dating back to the tyrannical rule of Jean Bedel Bokassa, who crowned himself emperor in 1977. He tortured and murdered political rivals. Since his downfall, the country has confined his memory to the ruins of his presidential palace, banned from public view. This self-commissioned giant French-sculpted bronze statue now stands as a dark symbol of brutal excess. But rebellion and social turmoil followed his passing. Amongst the coup leaders in his wake, Félix Patassé, who in turn was deposed by today's president, Francois Bozizé, both legitimizing their coups with disputed elections.
I mean, we've been down for 49 years. We had Bokassa, we have Patassé, now we have Bozizé. And probably it's a question of generation, age, a new mentality. We need to definitely renew the political class, as we say it here.
Reforming the political classes, though, could mean the long-suffering people of CAR would get some meaningful representation. But right now, this is a country in perpetual crisis. Shockingly poor development, running alongside urgent humanitarian demands in most regions of a country bigger than France. Even if all the rebels do hand in their guns, normality appears to be a pipe dream. Andrew Simmons, Al Jazeera, Paoua in the Central African Republic.